Think about how much stuff we plug in every single day. Our phones, our laptops, and yeah, for a lot of us, our cars. But what if your next car just didn't have a plug at all? Today, we're going to dig into the Tesla Cybercab and its really wild new way of thinking about charging. So let's just jump right in. Could you personally, actually own a car that you could never physically plug into a charger? It sounds like a simple question, right? But what that really means for you as a driver, well, that's where things get interesting. Okay, so take a look here. On the left, that's pretty much every EV on the road today. You pull up, you grab the cable, you plug it in. Simple. But on the right, that's the world of the Cybercab. We've had it confirmed that it's not going to have a NACS port, the standard Tesla plug, and that big red X, that means forget it. You have absolutely zero way to use the supercharger cables you see everywhere. So, you're probably asking, if there's no plug, how in the world does it get its juice? Well, that leads us to the really cool tech behind all this, the 19-kilowatt induction system. The whole thing works using what's called induction charging. So instead of you hopping out and fumbling with a cable, the car just backs itself up over this special angled pad on the floor. And that's it. The car starts charging, completely wirelessly. Now here's where it gets really surprising, because you'd think wireless would be slower, right? Nope. Not this time. The Cybercab system is actually pulling in 19 kilowatts. And as you can see on this chart, that's way faster than Tesla's own home wall connector, which tops out around 11.5 kilowatts. So for what this thing is built to do, this is a serious upgrade. Okay, this number right here, 5.5, this is everything. This is the target efficiency, 5.5 miles per kilowatt hour. Now, to give you some perspective, if Tesla can actually hit that number, the Cybercab would be the most efficient EV ever made, and by a long shot. But there's always a but, isn't there? Hitting that kind of crazy efficiency means making some pretty big trade-offs. And that trade-off, well, that brings us to the brutal truth for anyone thinking about maybe, just maybe, owning one of these. What does this design really mean for something like the Great American Road Trip? So let's just boil it all down to one simple, unavoidable fact. No plug means no superchargers. Period. The entire nationwide network that makes Tesla so great for road trips is completely, 100% off limits to this car. So let's be super clear about what this means for you, the buyer. It means your travel is basically stuck in a bubble. You can only go as far as your local area, where you know you can get back to one of these special wireless pads. This car is just not made for driving across the state, let alone across the country, because the public charging for it, well, it doesn't exist. And this chart here really just spells it out, black and white. A standard Tesla, you get the freedom of the whole supercharger network. The Cybercab, you're locked into a local zone. So if you're looking for a personal car, the standard Tesla is the obvious choice. But for a fleet of taxis that just run around a city all day, that's where the Cybercab starts to make a whole lot of sense. And this really puts it into perspective, right? Let's say you're looking for a forever car. That one car that's going to do everything for you. Groceries, commuting, and that trip to see the grandkids a few states over. This total lack of flexibility is a huge risk. You're basically gambling that you'll never need or want to drive outside your local wireless charging bubble. So you're probably wondering, why on earth would Tesla build a car with such a gigantic limitation? And the answer is pretty simple. They're not building it for you. This thing is a taxi, through and through. It's not your personal car. Yeah, the Cybercab was designed from the ground up for one job and one job only, to be a robo-taxi. For a company running a whole fleet of these cars 24/7 inside a city, think about it. Never needing a human to stop and plug one in? That's a massive win for efficiency. It was just never intended to be someone's personal vehicle. And hey, I've got to hit the pause button here for a quick reality check. We've seen the cool prototypes and all, but mass production, that's not even expected to start until 2026 at the earliest. As of right now, today, there are exactly 0 of these available for anyone to buy. And please, I need you to listen to me very, very carefully on this one. Because this car isn't out yet, scam artists are going to come out of the woodwork. If you see any website asking you for a holding fee or a deposit to reserve a wireless Tesla, it is absolutely, positively 100% a scam. Just don't do it. So where does this all go from here? Is this whole no-plug idea just a weird one-off for taxis, or is this something we might see coming to the rest of the Tesla lineup? Let's look at some of the clues.
The biggest clue we have actually comes from the Cybertruck. Some owners were digging around in the service manual, and what did they find? a page showing a connector specifically labeled Inductive Charger. Now that strongly suggests that Tesla is at least planning for a future where you could add wireless charging as an aftermarket upgrade. It's pretty clear this isn't just a gimmick for a taxi, this is part of the long game.
And that brings us all the way back to the main question, which is really about a personal trade-off. Would you be willing to give up the freedom of the open road, the ability to go on a spontaneous road trip, for the amazing convenience of never, ever having to think about plugging in your car again? It's a really fascinating question, and what you answer says a lot about what you truly want from a car.